Had you met the complainant before that day?
The complainant, you mean
Botham
both?
John.
Yeah, yes. Well, I met him that day.
Okay. Had you ever seen him in the building before that day?
No, I can't say I can't say I seen him. I heard him in there.
Okay. When you say you heard him, what did you mean?
Heard him singing every morning.
Okay. You heard him singing. What kind of things did you hear him sing?
Gospel music, Drake.
And your door is directly across the hall from where Mr. John's apartment was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so in the morning, were you inside of your apartment when you heard Mr. John singing, or outside of your apartment?
I'll probably hear him when I come out, lock my door. I'll hear him.
Okay. So from in the hallway, you can hear his activities inside his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? You have to say it out loud. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach you, Your Honor?
Yes. Here.
Thank you. And we can take a moment, Joshua. This is fine. We're not in a rush, okay?
Yeah, we need a moment.
Deputy Johnson. She's on you retired. All right.
I wanted to show you guys the testimony of Joshua Brown first before I started the commentary, because I wanted you to understand just how emotionally and mentally draining that testimony was for that young man, and how I am sure that was not an easy thing to do. It is never an easy thing to do, to be a witness, especially when you are a witness for the prosecution. That is never an easy thing to do. I mean, we're looking at, when you look at Tekashi 6ix9ine, you think to yourself, everybody out here calling him a snitch. People think like, oh, you're going against this, you're going against that. That's a lot of pressure. So that you know, Joshua Brown lived right across the hall from Botham John. He was coming home from a football game that evening where he kind of heard something. He said, but he also testified that he did not hear Amber Guyger give any commands to Botham. Okay? He saw her in the hallway also after the fact, the aftermath of it, on the phone saying that she went into the wrong apartment. Okay? This man on Friday night around 10:30 p.m. was killed. Witnesses report that they saw a silver sedan speeding away from the scene of the apartment building that he now lived in. It was an apartment complex. See, he no longer lived in that apartment complex where Botham and Amber Guyger lived. He moved away from it. And so he was coming home and again, they say witnesses report that this man was shot in the mouth and in the chest. And some witnesses also claim that they were nursing a wound in his buttocks. So he was shot several times and died. A couple of days after, now you have to understand this, he died a couple of days after, was shot and killed, and died a couple of days after Amber Guyger was convicted of the murder of Botham John. That's important to remember. He was a key witness. His witness testimony was actually key in convicting Amber Guyger. Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. And what's more sad to me than anything is that after this happened, I saw a lot of like people online assassinating this man's character, saying that this was a street thing, this was a street dude, and his mother said my son was an entrepreneur. He managed Airbnbs. He was a college graduate. This was not just some regular dude on the street. Okay. Now I don't mean that he didn't have his foot, like a lot of folks. We just, we know a lot of folks, right? We hang out with a lot of different people, but that don't mean that this dude didn't have his business together. And furthermore, he had his shit together simply because of where he lived. Before he moved out of that apartment complex, you have to understand, where Botham Jean and Amber Guyger lived, those were not cheap apartments. They live in a pretty nice place. So this wasn't some dude just kicking it in the hood. This was a dude, this was an entrepreneur who actually was a pretty low-key guy. He was so low-key, they had to subpoena him. He didn't beg to testify. They had to subpoena this man to get him to talk. He didn't want anything to do with this because he understood kind of like how the streets work here. Even if you're an entrepreneur, even if you're not in the streets, you still understand how it works. How people just have an aversion to people who talk. He was getting threats online about even speaking. Do you recall the lady Bonnie? I think Phil from the Advice Show. It's not called the Advice Show anymore, but Philip Scott on his YouTube channel, about a year ago, or a little less than, it was something. It was a while ago. He interviewed this woman named Bonnie, who recorded the night of. She recorded the whole thing with Amber Guyger and the stuff with the police officers and how they treated her. She recorded all of that, and she was threatened. She was fired from her job. She had multiple death threats because of that very recording that she put out there. She was threatened for it. People were trying to hurt her. She feared for her life. So you don't think that this man feared for his life as well? I'm sure he did. Again, he didn't want to do this. He testified on behalf of the prosecution. And again, that subsequently led to the conviction of Amber Guyger. But he wanted to keep a low profile, just live his life. That's all. And now he is dead. And for all those people that out here with the forgiving heart that you have, that's fine, do you? But so that you know that forgiveness and that, we forgive you, Amber Guyger, don't really mean much to her, because you do understand that her team is in the process of filing an appeal to get her conviction overturned. So this woman who seems so like, she feels so remorseful, she's acting so remorseful, she's crying. Those tears didn't mean nothing. She probably took that Bible that judge gave her and threw it across the cell wall. She didn't give a damn about any of that, because again, they're filing an appeal. If she thought she should be doing jail time, they wouldn't be filing an appeal on her behalf. They're trying to get her out of there, and they're trying to overturn all of this. And guess what? The key witness in the conviction of Amber Guyger is now dead. What do you have to say about that now? He is not here. In case, if she actually does win her appeal and she is retried, the key witness is gone. What do you think? Seriously, put the pieces together here. Please help me out. All these people talking about she's remorseful, she's sorry for what she did. If she was remorseful and she took responsibility for anything that she did, why did she plead not guilty? If you take responsibility and say, yes, I did it, you would plead guilty. Wouldn't you? Well, duh. But she didn't. And furthermore, she's trying to file an appeal. That woman does not want to sit one day in jail. For all these people out here hugging her, the goddamn judge hugging this woman, giving her a Bible, the brother begging to go and hug her, the bailiff stroking her hair ever so gently. And what does that prove? The woman went immediately, and her team was like, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to file an appeal. That woman don't want to do one day. And y'all sat there and gave her all of that mercy and that forgiveness. She just threw that back in your face because she don't want to be there. She don't think she should be there. So, you know, and furthermore, Miss Judge, you probably helped the woman because your conduct was inappropriate. Your conduct was inappropriate, ma'am. People have filed a complaint against that. And the very thing that you did, calling yourself, showing her some love, will probably come back to bite you in the ass and also help her with her an appeal because it was inappropriate. That wasn't supposed to happen. You shouldn't have done that. And her brother saying, and Botham John's brother saying, he don't even want her to go to jail. He didn't even want her to go to jail. You don't think all of that is going to be helpful in at least getting this woman off or reducing her time? I mean, seriously, guys, please wake up. I don't think this is a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that 2 days after this woman was convicted, this man is shot in the mouth. Point blank range, shot in the mouth. When somebody do that kind of stuff, that's an execution. That means we want you to shut up. We want to silence you. People better wake up. People better seriously wake up. There have been people threatened. Bonnie was threatened. She lost her livelihood because of this mess. Facebook shut her down. Instagram shut her down. She was threatened. Her life was threatened because of what she recorded that night of the Botham John's murder. This man is now gone. It just sickens me. I've been watching for the last couple of days the news, you know, people reporting on it, the news coverage. It just sickens me. My heart breaks for his family. All he did was help convict somebody that should have been in jail because of what she did. That's all he did. That's all he did. And now he is dead. And if ever it come again that wins her appeal, that she gets to be retried, he's not here to speak again. He can't. So y'all can call it coincidence if you want to. Yeah, I saw something saying that the Lee Merritt, he's the lawyer for the family of Botham John. And he said, yes, this young man, he had a run-in with some people at a strip club about a year ago. He was shot in the foot. You know, and of course, you know that the media, as soon as they said that, you know the media was going to take it and run with it. Like, well, you know, he did have some run-ins with some people before. And he feared for his life. You know they're going to run with that. Just like they ran with the picture of the judge hugging Amber Guyger and the brother begging, can he hug her? That's what the media shows. Let's not act like people haven't ended up dead before. Look at the activist in Ferguson. Look at that. Look at what happened. I just wanted to get that out. I wanted to vent on that this morning because it makes me sick. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm calling BS. And I think that this is definitely a hit. This was a hit on his life so that he would shut up. You guys let me know what you think. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys on the next video. But I pray for this man's family. And I pray that they find peace and they get some answers real quick. Take care, everybody.